Man, UCLA had no head coaches, no DC, no OC, just parted ways with every single person on the staff, yet they knocked down the number 7 Penn State. How did that happen? Was it a fluke? Was it just the right time for UCLA? What y'all think?
I mean, honestly, buy-in. One of the things that I've known, or I remember, I know we kind of talked about it a little before. I remember Jerry. I think it's Jerry Neuheisel. Since like I was in high school, and he's been around his dad and just UCLA football, and he's a real mastermind behind offense, like quarterback, receivers, how to get people open. And then on top of that, I felt like Penn State, it was just one of them, like, it was right time, right? They probably was a little lax. Just like, it's just tough. It's just a tough, you have a mastermind that's coming in, get with people to buy in, and then you just kind of at that tipping point of like, which part of it we're feeling good, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was just a good timing thing for them, and just they have talent. UCLA does have talent. Yeah. It's just getting them to buy in. Mm-hmm. Neuheisel clearly did.
Kind of like a trap game. That's how I saw it for Penn State. It looks like quarterback Drew has been struggling a little bit these past few weeks already, and then you take a UCLA team with nothing to lose, but they are talented, like we said. We know about the staff they just have, former players. So the first thing that came to my mind was like, they probably have some talent in there.
Definitely.
Sure, they got former player coaches, guys who are from the city around that area who went to UCLA. So I know the talent's probably in there somewhere. They had nothing to lose. Highly touted, supposed to be quarterback who, fell from Tennessee and maybe has some things, but he's still got some good football in front of him, and I think they just came out there and kind of shocked them a little bit. I think maybe Penn State was looking at them like a 0-4 team. We're going to go in here and, win this game easily, and Nico came out and had other plans. He used his feet. He threw the ball. He came alive. I was actually happy to see it. I'm like, man, for all the scrutiny he's been under and everything that's happened with his story, I thought it was cool for him to have that comeback game to show that he's still, a talented guy, and maybe he turns that program around. And little Neuheisel, you know what I mean? I think we all maybe been recruited by big Neuheisel, so I think it was cool to see.
Not me.
Huh? I think it was cool to see, somebody our age that, recruited by his dad and a UCLA guy, gotta be because his dad was.
How old is he?
33.
He's 33?
Yeah,
he's our age, bro.
I want to
out
say.
Out there OCing it up.
I want to say he was going to UCLA or we were in the same class, so I remember him, going there, and I remember his dad recruited me, and he's our age, bro.
Yeah, the UCLA camp, I remember.
He was dialing that shit up, though.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
He's hats off to him.
He's been, like, I promise you, that kid has been around football his entire life.
Yes.
And when I'm talking about, I remember one of the first times as a high school coach now, I got to be around him and just him talking and the way he was talking about the game, right? We just talked about him being at the Gorman game and recruiting, and he was able to give me a rundown of my DBs to the receivers we were going against, to our receivers, to comparing them to the rest of the receivers in the country and what he's looking for. Like, he definitely knows, and that's why I say that. He knows his stuff, and that's why I'm saying, like, that play calling, he's a little bit more, right, he's younger, so he's not like the typical OC or maybe an older guy who, like, this is my playbook and this is what I'm doing. This is my guy. How can I do what I want to fit my guy and change that system to fit him? Because that's really what it looked like when you saw Nico playing. It didn't look like Nico was just out there trying to run a system. Like, he was doing what was best for him, what was best for the team, and getting everybody in good positions to make the right plays, even letting Nico use his feet more than he has. Yeah. So
how much do you guys think that was the defensive coordinators or the Penn State, Nick Lyons not being able to game plan for that OC because he is new? Like, you got a lot of, you was prepping for that OC that was there 0-3.
Yeah.
He's no longer there, not discrediting Neuheisel and what he did, but what happens moving forward when these DCs like, okay, we know what you're doing on 3rd and 5. We know what you like to do on 1st and 10 out the gate. Like, how much do you think that changes moving forward for UCLA?
I think it's going to change quite a bit because then we're going to really see. Like, I remember one time, all right, I normally call defense when I'm doing my stuff. And I remember I went to go call offense. My first 2 drives went down there, scored. But after that, when they figured out, like, oh, this is what he likes to do down in the red zone, this is what he likes to do on 3rd down, it gets a little bit difficult. And now you do have to get your thinking cap on. And, like, how do you either get back to that by creating a formation or some shifts or changes? So I think it's going to be – I think he'll have some successful, like, 2-3 weeks, and then some shit's going to happen to where it's going to get stymied a little bit. Yeah. But I do think he has enough of an offensive mind to figure out how to make things in. I watched, I watched Rick Neuheisel compliment and almost tear up on TV talking about him, right? So you already know he's going to be like, son, like, okay, let's get this. Like, his juices are probably going again from what he used to try to help his son because, you know, back when, be successful.
Calling dad immediately.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody more passionate about UCLA football
than the Neuheisels. Yeah.
Facts.
Like, I can honestly say, like, that is, you know, obviously I'm an SC guy forever, but that is a period of time I do remember is it the Rick is the older one?
Yeah, Rick Neuheisel.
Rick
yeah.
Was him trying to sell me the UCLA dream, and he was very passionate about it. Almost comparable to Pete Carroll at USC. Like, he really believed in that program, the schooling, just where it was, it being a magical place. And like my second offer, he kind of had me thinking about it.
And I mean, in more recent history, that's probably that's the best. Probably like 10-year gap when he was there, you know, like they get like when I remember I would watch y'all games, right, them SC UCLA games, and it would be something was close, and then I remember it was a I remember it was
that was Jim Moore's era.
Yeah, see,
Jim
like
Moore, they was giving it.
So keep him.
You got to see how they finish out the year.
Yeah,
I think if they finish out strong, because
how much?
Because you fired the head coach, you parted ways with the OC DC. Are you saying you keep Neuheisel as the OC, or do you elevate him as the HC?
I don't know about head coach.
I don't know that either.
Y'all
but
talking, if he's that passionate about UCLA and he's beat a top 10
team, yes,
immediately.
The only reason I say no, and I think Lil Neuheisel can attest to this. He said this was his first time ever even wearing a headset in the game.
But he's been around
so
the
the
UCLA
experience
program.
isn't there, but I think you can retain him as an OC depending on how successful he is through the rest of this year.
And I don't know if you guys know, so like I was looking at the board of like who's gonna like kind of do the hiring process, and one of the people that's on there is EK, Eric Kendricks, the alumni, went to
that's
UCLA.
what's up.
So you already know, like
he's known Neuheisel too.
Yeah, he's known Neuheisel. Like Neuheisel is like I'm talking about even in these last few recent coaches, like little Neuheisel hasn't left UCLA. Like the recruiting trips in the last like 4 years that I took kids on, 3 years, like Neuheisel has been there the whole time.
So let me ask you this. If he's touched all of these kids and has impacted these kids' lives, he's obviously came out, beat Penn State. Like, why wouldn't you make him head coach and give him that shot since he's so dedicated to this school and this team?
Maybe it's early. You know, you might, I think best case scenario, I think they kind of tee him up for the spot.
Yeah.
Maybe give him a year or two to get some OC, you know, calling under his belt, and he gets some experience. He'll get some backing by the fans and the fan base. Kind of like, you know, being a young quarterback. Do you want to throw him out in the fire?
Yeah.
And they already went 0-3, 0-4, and the head coach got fired. I mean, for me, this is a little different because it's like, you know, okay, yes, you got a dad who was a good coach, and he raised you up, and you love the program, and you love the school. I would hate to see him get the head coach, go 0-4, and now he on the hot seat. Now you want him out of there.
Plus, also,
let's slow play it.
Also, two things.
Buzz, maybe a year or two.
I would say two
Being on
things.
the hot seat in the first year is crazy.
I mean, but it's legit. That's what they do.
They do that though. You
So
know,
and that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying maybe wait maybe a year or two, give him some OC time.
I'll see two things. The first thing I'm gonna say is a lot of times when you just your Cam Ward analogy, right? Like, you usually get these kids, like when you get a first-round quarterback or when you get somebody that you decide to throw in the fire, you know you got him for 4 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do it and you don't have anybody else in that room or no other valuable option in this sense, like with Cam Ward, you say, okay, just go get your bumps and bruises, right? When we talk about with Jackson Dart, there was somebody else that he could try to get his bruises from. So that's what I think you look at when it comes to Neuheisel. Is there someone of the caliber that's been winning, that wants a job, to where like they understand like Neuheisel is a great piece. He's dedicated. He loves the program. Like, he's gonna do everything for this program to win. We want him as the OC. You know, we want you to have him here with you and come in, and then you teach. Because again, you go from, it's one thing to be a supporting cast and a background guy and rah-rah and I know what to say and do. Then when it's like all the pressure's on me to make that call, you might clam up. Stuff might just change for you because now there's no one else to, like, you can't just like, see, we should have.
Yeah.
I said this, da-da-da. Now it's like no one took that control from you. You had it. You had it to make that call. Can you really, execute?
Okay.
Well, I won the gate. They beat Penn State, man. A good Penn State team, I think. That's why it's hard for me to call it a fluke, because I'm like, we know Penn State was talented.
I think they came out
I think
flat.
the Big Ten is all talented.
You know what I mean?
Like that's why they built that
I think
conference.
Penn State came out on some like, oh,
They
we're
was
playing
sleeping.
UCLA.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
We've been all a part of those
We finna
winning
sweep
side
the
or the losing side, for sure.
Yeah.